Conclusion inevitable.
It was a jump to conclusions, Matt.
My conclusion was that this idea was not a practical deterrent.
My only conclusion can be that it was a Sith Lord.
In conclusion.
Hello there, folks! Welcome back to In Conclusion, the only movie podcast that begs the question, did we need this? Was the first one good enough? Could we have left it alone? I'm Dan O'Keefe, and joining me as always is Anna Otto. How are you, Anna?
Well, Dan, I have COVID. I shouldn't laugh.
Strong start. I have COVID.
I shouldn't laugh because, like, COVID is no laughing matter. Get vaccinated.
What's that?
Literally. Just kidding. I don't know what's going on with my life. I shouldn't laugh, but it's just that's how my weekend has been. That's been the crux of my weekend and into my week. And it's kind of my personality trait until I don't feel sick anymore. So
I get that.
Yeah.
It's like in high school when someone would break their arm and their entire personality would be all the signatures on their arm.
Yeah, I never broke an arm, knock on wood. You hear that? So this is the equivalent for me of coming back to school with a hospital band on, except it's a surgical mask, and my hair looked awful, and my skin is broken out. So
Ideal.
yeah, I looked so hot at work today. It was like a supermodel. People had to look away because I was so blinding them.
Oh my God. Thank you.
Literally.
No.
No. How are you?
I'm good. I was on vacation last week in New York City.
Yeah, and you saw my boyfriend,
I did.
Reeve Carney. He's so fine.
Yes. So, that's the reason why we didn't have an episode last week. I was on vacation and I neglected to plan ahead. So that's why this is coming out post-Halloween.
That's okay. We want the pain to last.
Yeah. To quote Chevelle, send the pain below. Much like suffocating. You know that song.
I do,
You know
but
it.
it was weird because you started breaking up when you were singing it. So
Oh, no.
it's so creepy. Anyway.
But I'm good. I was on vacation today. I was at a makeup and fitting thing for an extra. I'm going to be an extra on an HBO show. So things
He's
are
a star,
exciting.
actually.
Yeah, I'm Magic Johnson. That's who I am.
I
he's
didn't
not
know
on
it was
the
a-
show.
oh.
His character. It's based on the
believed
Lakers
you.
of the 80s.
I thought
Someone
you were
plays him.
actually rubbing elbows with Magic Johnson.
I am not.
Dang.
I'm looking at the pass that I had to get onto the Warner Brothers lot, where I was driven around in a golf cart through the back lot.
Did you see the Goldbergs again?
I didn't. That was Sony. That was the Sony lot where I saw. And if I saw Jeff Garland, I don't know what the reaction would be.
What would your reaction be now if you saw Sean Giambroni or whatever his last name is?
Probably the same. I don't
No,
know. I was
you
like,
say,
oh, that's cool.
my friend Anna wants to adopt you. She knows you're an adult man, but refuses to accept it.
He'd probably be like, oh!
That's exactly the response we want.
That's exactly it. But I'm looking at the pass that I had to get on, and it was requested by David B. Crisp.
That's kind of a sick name.
Right?
David B. Crisp.
David B. Crisp.
Okay, King. Okay, David. He's probably so sick of that.
And they have the Wi-Fi password. But it was cut off, so I actually don't know what it is.
I was about to say, spill it. Tell it on the
Right.
podcast.
It's Warner 20, and it might have longer than that. I don't know. But going back to New York, yes, I saw Reeve Carney in Hadestown. And you asked me what I thought about him, and I didn't answer you. When the show started and he started singing, I was like, ugh. As it went on, I warmed up to him, but his voice seemed like a very acquired taste.
How dare you come on this podcast and disrespect my Spider-Man?
Okay, yeah, your Spider-Man, my Tom Ford, because he played Tom Ford in House of Gucci, which is the only thing that I had seen him in before.
Really? He was also in, are you sure? Because he was in that TV special of,
If it wasn't Grease, I didn't see it.
Oh, never mind. I'm having such a brain fart. Don't come for me. Rocky Horror. He was in that.
Yeah, I didn't watch that.
It was bad. With Victoria Justice.
It sounds like it was more of a injustice.
Truly. I don't even like Rocky Horror, though, so.
But Hadestown is good. The
Yes.
show is good. I warmed up to Reeve Carney's voice, but I was like, why are you singing like you just got punched in the stomach every line? Like he has no... Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I know how Reeve sings. Did you like Ava Noblezada?
I don't think she's still in the cast.
Is she not? She might not be. She's been doing movies. That's his
No,
girlfriend.
Reeve Carney was the only original cast member still in it.
He's so fine.
Whoever was the female lead was the best.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really intense vocal part, too. So, I feel like you have to... I mean, let's take a step back in time to the Tony Awards. Reeve was the only one from the leading, actors who was not nominated for something. And of the supporting actors. So, I mean, I get it, okay? But not enough to actually, validate. Because I love Reeve.
Yes, it is okay. I get it. But when Anna and I were buying tickets, we were at the box office, and this delightful couple came in behind us, and as we were walking out, we just heard them go, "Is Hadstown a musical?" It was
Hadstown?
They called it Hadstown. They asked if it was a musical. Because they had just seen the poster outside or something, and they were so sincere. They were so
old?
like, "Ooh, this seems interesting." They seemed like they were in their 60s. They were like an older gay couple.
Listen.
It was adorable.
I love the elderly. I love the gays. I don't want to be a theater kid on Maine. I literally don't live in a world where people don't know musicals. So this reminds me of the time somebody once approached me and I was talking about how I love musicals and they go, "Do you know Oklahoma?" And I thought I was going to throw up.
Fair. Well, if that's the case, how did you feel? We'll talk about Hocus Pocus 2 at some point, but I don't want to, so we're going to keep going on this train. How did you feel when we were in Anything Goes together? And I had never been in a musical before. And at one point,
Dan,
they
that's
were
when
like,
our friendship blossomed.
I know, but somebody was like, "It's the Sitz Probe tomorrow." And I was like, "That's a dumb name." And then I was admonished.
As you should have been.
Why don't they just call it rehearsal?
You walk into the
rehearsal.
theater, handsome and hetero, and you think you own the joint?
Before all of the women got to know me, I did. Before
sorry.
they knew my personality.
I'm so sorry. We love you, Dan. I literally... The stir, the hubbub when you entered the room. I'm sorry. I know it strokes your ego. It makes me chuckle.
Oh, it absolutely does.
Dan.
But also, I think it is hilarious that they were like, "Ooh, he's so cute." And then I said a sentence and they were like,
What if I put it to you this
okay.
way? I love you more platonically than I ever could have romantically.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're
It means a
welcome.
lot.
I still love you. It's just different. It's built different.
I don't care about you. I care about all the other women. I'm going for numbers.
What the F?
I'm going for breadth, not depth.
Ugh. You were too tall for me anyway.
Yeah.
You're too tall.
Correct. I bending down to see you, patting you on the head whenever you do a good job.
Do you remember when we matched on Tinder for the sole purpose of like that was how we communicated?
Yes, correct. And you're not the only person I did that with.
I love that, Dan. That's the energy. That's college energy. It's chaotic and I love it.
I'd do that now. I don't have Tinder.
I was just saying, I was like, yeah, just hit me up on Tinder. I'm not looking to date. I just don't like texting.
For a while, when Facebook dating launched, Anna had an account and was just messaging people on it for fun.
Oh,
just
God.
being absurd.
I heard there were a lot of creepos on there if you were actually looking to date. Like, it was not a good place.
No dating app is.
I had a friend.
Anyone who's gotten a relationship from it, more power to you, but you're the exception.
You're the only two people on that app who were not giving anybody else the ick. Two engaged people talking about dating.
As it should be.
My fave topic.
I haven't been out in the world in 5+ years. I know exactly what the trends are.
Oh, my single coworkers, when they tell me about their love life, I'm like, spill immediately. I've canceled my meetings.
Absolutely. I love to hear this.
They're like, oh, you don't want to hear.
Better.
There was one of my coworkers said something about themselves to me, and I said, no, that's not correct, because on your dating profile it says this, this, and this. I know because you showed me. And they were like, how do you remember that? I was like, because I love talking about people's love lives.
We should probably talk about the movie.
Let's get into it, Dan. You can do it.
Today we're talking about Hocus Pocus 2.
Ooh.
It's a movie that exists. Directed by Anne Fletcher, best known for directing Step Up, 27 Dresses, and The Proposal.
Weird, because I love 27 Dresses.
And choreographerizing Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed.
Shut the fuck up.
And Not Another Teen Movie.
I don't know her.
And Bring It On.
Oh, not the crumping.
And Titanic and Boogie Nights.
Wait, did she choreograph the sex scene?
Probably the dancing?
In Oh, yeah, I forgot that.
You remember when they have that long-ass dance?
Okay, let's end the podcast. I forgot about that.
Hocus Pocus 2.
You're my best girl, Cora.
Screenplay by Jen D'Angelo, story by David Kirshner, who wrote Child's Play and also the first Hocus Pocus, as we talked about, and the Curious George movies. Starring Bette Midler, Sarah Jessica Parker, Kathy Najimy, Sam Richardson, Doug Jones, Whitney Peak, Belissa Escobedo, Tony Hale, and for some reason, for one scene, Hannah Waddingham from Ted Lasso.
Oh, that means nothing to me. I don't know
She's
that
the witch
show.
at the beginning.
Oh, okay. I've never watched Ted Lasso. I do animal sit for a cat named Roy Kent, so I feel like I should watch it, but...
Released on September 30th, 2022, with a budget of $40 million. It made $0 at the box office because it was released directly onto streaming onto Disney Plus.
Excuse me?
Disney Plus.
Oh, that's not what I thought you said.
What did you think I said?
Disney Plus. I have two things to say.
Disney Plus. Okay, go ahead.
One, this movie sucked because Kenny Ortega did not lay a finger on it.
There was no touch of the Ortosi.
Where the fuck was Kenny? You know what I mean? I mean, I'm sure he's hard to nail down. He's a very busy man. But that's obviously why it sucked, because he was involved in the first one, but not this one.
Yeah. Exactly.
Number 2. Ew. I seem to have forgotten number 2.
Great.
Oh! It was Gossip.
Okay.
So, open your ears. A friend of a friend said that Gage was in a show, and it was a one-night-only performance.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody else in the cast was saying that they invited their friends, but their friends couldn't come because they were going to throw a Hocus Pocus party and watch the movie instead on that same night.
Uh-huh.
And I said, wow, that's kind of bad, friends. You're literally missing a free one-night-only show. But okay.
Yeah, for something that you can access whenever and watch whenever. It's not like it's a thing that's leaving theaters.
Yeah. Now, I don't know how true that is, that story, but I'm going to believe it's true because I think it's salacious. So, anyway.
On Rotten Tomatoes, Hocus Pocus 2 has a 63% approval rating.
By who?
Basically
Children?
Boiling cauldron of nostalgia, but that's more than enough for this belated sequel to cast a reasonably effective spell.
Maybe it's just because I like Tony Hale.
Yeah, he's good. I have so few thoughts.
You know what? Thoughts? No thoughts, just vibes. Let's do it, Dan. Finish with the rest of the facts, and let's just plow through.
Those are the facts.
Okay, I have some
exists.
facts.
Okay.
The facts are everyone in my office hated it.
Wow, okay. Strong.
Yeah, like I hadn't seen it yet, and I was like, without spoiling it, how did you feel? And they all said, it sucked. And I was like, what? So the tea was piping. Everyone in the office said it was terrible.
Yeah, I don't think this is actively bad. There are movies that are actively bad. It is worse than that. The worst thing a movie can be is boring.
You thought it was boring?
Yeah.
Okay, I did lose interest at some
Or
point.
apathy causing. I was apathetic while watching this. I cared for no one. I did not care what happened in the movie. The only thing I cared about was as soon as that clock would hit 9, because that would mean that it would be over.
I enjoyed
I did
bits
watch
of it.
this at 7 in the morning.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I enjoyed some parts of it.
Okay.
Some parts of it were like nails on a chalkboard to me. And here's the conundrum for me. My mom loves Hocus Pocus. Like, she was the one who I watched the first movie with. She loves it.
Okay.
I do not feel and maybe it's because I fancy myself some sort of like freaking Disney hipster or something. And I'm like, oh, everybody loves Hocus Pocus. I don't love it. That's not what I see myself as, though. I enjoy Hocus Pocus, but I'm not one of those people who's like obsessed with it like some people are. Like, I didn't need the cheese board that looks like Sarah Jessica Parker's titties for my party. In fact, I didn't have a party. But
you did have the cheese board.
I did. You know, that is just a staple in my home, actually.
Just something to tasty motorboat.
Amen. No, but I guess because I don't idolize the first movie, there wasn't much for me to be let down on.
Fair.
But it also feels like it's fan service. Like, people wanted a second one for so long, and they made jokes about, like, oh my god, it's coming this year, and it wasn't, bitch. For years, it wasn't. They finally gave us a crumb, and they did the bare fucking minimum because they knew you would eat that shit up in 2 seconds. And what did you do? Like a little mouse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you completely.
Thank you.
I have over the past few years, I hate fans.
Yeah. Dan, yes. Speaking as a fan of things, I agree with you. This is what's the word?
Anti-fan?
No. A reformed
Self-loathing?
One Direction fan. Okay.
Okay.
So,
Are you reformed, or was your church just closed?
that's fucking rude, Dan. That's rude.
I'm sorry that I called you out directly.
I'm about to go home and cry. Oh, wait, I am home. Time to cry.
I also... I hate fans because the things that they want brought back are not the things that make films, television, media good or interesting.
Yeah.
They want, and I'm using they not as a pejorative, but kind of as a pejorative.
Yeah.
It's not that they want good characters or further development or an interesting extension of the previous story. They want to see things that they understand the reference to, point it out, and go, hey, I know what that is.
That's physically painful.
For 2 hours.
No.
And the rest doesn't matter. And that is actively ruining mainstream media.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Dan, maybe we're just sour.
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't think so, though.
Maybe I'm still sour because the last two movies that I saw in theaters, both are original movies, but they were just bad anyway.
What did you see?
Don't Worry, Darling, in Amsterdam.
Oh, I haven't seen Don't Worry, Darling yet. Don't say a word. It drops
Okay.
on HBO on November 7th, and a bitch about to hit play. Okay.
You do it. Don't see Amsterdam. Amsterdam's horrible.
Have you seen My Policeman?
I've seen posters for it, which
Oh, it
appeared
looks
out of nowhere.
So steamy. I feel like the gay
My
gods are just
Policeman.
like dropping it everywhere. I'll be seeing that.
No, the movie that I'm most excited for is Babylon, which is about like 1930s Hollywood.
Oh,
and
that
it's
reads.
It's directed by Damien Chazelle, who made La La Land and Whiplash.
You are a
And Brad Pitt
caricature
and
of
Margot
yourself.
Robbie are in it. I am the worst.
No. I didn't say that. I just said you're a caricature of yourself.
You're correct. That and The Menu, which comes out soon with Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yep. Is that about eating people?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so too.
I'm excited.
I'm interested. And Gage will want to see it because he has a crush on Anya Taylor-Joy. So that's fine. We can go.
Hey, Nicholas Holt's in it.
Who?
You could have a crush on him.
Is he handsome?
He was, you remember that movie Warm Bodies?
Yeah. Was he the zombie?
He was the zombie.
Okay. Respect. Okay. All right.
Anyway, Hocus Pocus 2. It's 1653. We're back in Salem, and Winifred is being banished because she doesn't want to marry John Pritchett. Why is she being forced to marry John Pritchett? Because John doesn't want to marry her. Nobody likes anyone. It's just what is.
Yeah. It's the times, you know.
We're reintroduced to the other sisters, Mary and Sarah, and in this movie, they all have the power of sisterhood and like love each other. Versus in the first one when they didn't.
Yeah, I mean they're sisters. I feel like they love each other, but they're gonna get on each other's nerves. You know, I don't have siblings, but I assume that's what it's like. Also,
You can't talk. You solo child.
I'll have you know
only child.
that I have a lot of non-biological siblings. Okay, they're my
Oh.
friends.
No, that's not how this works.
Okay.
You can have non-biological siblings, sure. That means your siblings are adopted. Your
don't
friends
have
are not
those.
your siblings.
I'm adopting.
Just like my cat is not my daughter.
But I have a dog-ter, so match
She
that
is
out
not
for
your
me.
daughter. She is your dog. She's
My
not your baby.
dog-ter. I birthed her.
No,
From
ew.
my loins.
Ugh.
I said that on the phone to my mom the other day, and she did not comment back. She just moved on.
Have you had a nightmare about birthing your dog?
No, but do you know how much I think that would fucking hurt?
No, I think it would be a smooth trip. What?
I don't know. I mean, she's hairy. Maybe just slide out faster. Anyway.
The Reverend Trask is banishing Winifred from Salem. It's also Tony Hale.
Love. Hi, King.
And Winifred and her sisters escape to a nearby forest.
Oh, and there's also a spider jump scare in this scene, which put the movie low on my list to begin with.
And needless. It's the only jump scare in the movie.
Thank you. I screamed. My pearls flushed. I was trying to eat dinner. I don't eat dinner during scary movies because I'm afraid of choking. I could have choked.
Wow. Do you eat alone?
Yes, frequently.
And you're not afraid of choking then?
Oh, I am. I just, It's fine.
If it's my time, it's my time.
Literally,
I'm eating the panda.
I look for a blunt surface that I could ram my body on in a Heimlich style in case I choke.
Wonderful.
Thank you. These are Anna's tips.
Hit the P. Hard emphasis on the P.
Anna's tips. Is that better?
Yes.
Good.
I was doing an improv scene, and the person I was doing the scene with apparently had never heard the word corgi said out loud. And it was something about... it was a scene about the Queen of England, and she was... she said, yes, there were a lot of corgis. And I was like, what? And she said, corgis. And I was like, emphasize the C.
I mean this in the best way possible, but is English not that person's first language?
She is from New York City. She is in
Born?
her 30s. She's born and raised in America.
Okay.
English is her first language.
That just feels so odd to me. Okay.
Go hard. If you're pronouncing a borderline word, go hard on the part that makes it not borderline.
Mm-hmm.
Like Winnie the Pooh's friend is Tigger.
Dan. My brain was like, Piglet.
No. In the woods, the sisters run into the Mother Witch, Hannah Waddingham from Ted Lasso, who she's sassy and talks like it's 2022.
She does.
There's no sense of time
Well,
in these scenes in the past. And
witches
there
are
wasn't in the
timeless.
90s either. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
She gives Winifred her magic book, but warns the sisters against casting a spell called the Magisse Maxima, which makes the user all-powerful. Why just not tell them about it?
Yeah.
I'm sure they're not going to read the whole thing.
They're kids.
Expect
They're
a teen
lazy.
to read a book.
Mm-hmm. I
They
never
have
read.
TikTok.
Just kidding. I've read 16 books this year.
Oh, good job.
Thank you.
I think I've read 7.
Okay, that's a solid number.
Solid. And I should read more. I just get distracted by TikTok.
Exactly. I used to be a non-reader, so I'll never shame anyone who takes some time to read at least one book.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. And listening to an audiobook counts.
Thank you. I needed that validation.
It absolutely does.
Thank you.
So the Mother Witch, in addition to giving her the book, she's like, kill children, and it'll keep your youthfulness.
Gross.
Kill John Lennon. 2022. The Sanderson sisters. After they were resurrected.
Sorry. Oh no.
I made that joke. I already made that joke.
Where? Oh, in the last episode, didn't you?
Yeah.
Sorry, Dan. It's been so long. I have COVID brain. Just kidding.
It's 29 years since they were brought back, and we got some teenagers, Becca and Izzy. Salem is much less Halloween-y than it was in the previous movie.
Yeah. What happened to their joy? What happened to their
Right?
whimsy? Are they okay?
It was probably 9/11.
Beaten down by the times. I get it.
Yeah. So they're going to celebrate Halloween and Becca's 16th birthday. It's on Halloween.
She's so quirky.
They get invited to a party by their estranged friend Cassie and her himbo boyfriend, who I love.
I also kind of loved him, especially at the end when he's like, I never bullied you. I just made fun of everything you love. I was like,
I do like his realization. They're like, that's bullying. And he's like, what? I thought it was just continuing a conversation.
Oh my god, that shit had me rolling, especially because I'm definitely the kind of person who calls people lame over dumb shit. So
absolutely. So Becca and Izzy, they visit a magic shop, which was in the Sanderson cottage, and it's run by Gilbert, who explains the history for the people who hadn't watched the first movie.
He's kind of lame. And
really?
he's friends with...
I liked him.
Okay. He just... I don't know. I thought he was cool at first, but as the movie went on, I was like, so you really just, like, tricked teenagers, huh?
I don't think... I think his character was lame, but I think it was effective.
Maybe I just...
This movie, he is an example of an Elon Musk fanboy who got to meet Elon Musk.
No!
Yeah. Let's see how he was used.
So evil.
So evil. The evilest man in the world. Anyway, I spent too much time on Twitter. Becca is gifted a candle. A black flame candle. Another one. Even though the first one was burnt all the way down, he's like, here's another one. Do.
Goofy.
And they light it. It's a full moon. And both girls are virgins.
I hate
feel
that.
so dirty saying that.
Yeah,
I can't say that.
When I was little, I was like, ha, 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 virgin. But as an adult, I want to be like, no, little girls, you lit this candle, and the reason why it worked is because you believe in magic, okay? It's not because you're virgins. In Santa. Your worth is more than whether or not you've had sex. Thank you.
Yes. But boys, not the case.
No, fuck them.
Yeah.
No, wait.
It is a full moon. The candle resurrects? I'm going with it. Resurrects the Sanderson sisters.
Resurrects?
I've been resurrected!
God. And then, Dan, can we just talk about the horrors of them singing The Bitch Is Back? The horrors!
Yeah.
Because...
No. The Witch Is Back.
I can't. Stone cold meanies. My skin crawled. I was screaming, crying, shitting, throwing up. I hated it. Because that's one of my favorite Elton John songs.
I'm trying to think of what would have been a better song for them to sing. Not
The
actually,
Bitch Is Back.
Well, I'm trying to think of one that they could throw witch into.
Oh. How about Hear Me Out, No Song?
Yes.
It felt forced, and it felt like they only did it because the three ladies are, like, theater people.
Yeah. And because they sang in the first movie, so they're like,
Yeah, but they have them sing later. It just, we don't need it. Don't force, and this is coming from someone who loves to sing, don't force a musical number.
This is also coming from somebody who loves to sing.
Mm-hmm.
Do force a musical
number. Dan.
But if you have to lean further into it. You need to force like 14.
Make the whole
You can't
thing.
just have one.
Interesting. Do we want it to
If
move
they
the story along?
if in every scene they kept breaking out either into The Witch's Back or to a different song each time, at some point it would start to become funny.
Yeah, that's
just
true.
based on the absurdity of it repeating and repeating and repeating.
That's fair. Oh, I'm full allergic to that freaking stone cold meanies. Every time I hear that, I break out in hives.
Well, do you like product placement?
Of course I do, Dan.
Do you like brands?
Only if they're gonna both sell me Pringles and allergy medicine in the same place.
Do you wish that you lived on the corner of happy and healthy?
I do. Every fucking day.
Well, guess what?
What?
I have the product placement for you.
Oh, I'm ready.
The gang heads to Walgreens.
Iconic. Walgreens said this was some good fucking money spent, girl.
Apparently. How much money did Walgreens give them?
$1 bajillion. They paid for the whole movie.
Because I'm almost certain they then had to recreate a Walgreens on a soundstage.
You think they did
To
just
get the
go into...
angles... Well, to get the angles and the lighting that they were filming with,
Oh, true.
probably not.
True. I mean, fluorescent lighting is not forgiving, as we all know.
As we all remember. In the Walgreens, the girls who have said that they are actually their biggest fans after bringing them back, and they worship them, but they get turned around immediately. They discover that salt stops the witches.
Classic. I could have told you that as a good Catholic.
Do you know what else salt stops?
Snails.
That. I was going to say joy.
Oh.
Happiness. If somebody's being salty when you're being genuinely happy.
I thought you meant, like, actually stopping things.
You know what salt stops?
Flavor.
Lot from having relations with his wife. I'm gonna make that my thing. That I keep making Lot's wife jokes.
Oh no.
You know, you're being really non-supportive.
You know who
You're
else?
being really salty. Almost as salty as Lot's wife.
Lord, Dan.
For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, Lot's wife is a pillar of salt, gets turned into a pillar of salt in the Bible. So,
Catholicism.
do with that information what you will.
The sighs that I am sighing.
They're the size of the saints.
Oh, they are.
From God's lips to your lips to my ears.
Amen. Amen. I am nothing if not a vessel.
So, the girls escape... I don't want to unpack that. The girls escape to the magic shop, where they find out that Gilbert tricked them. Uh-oh. He wanted to revive the witches, because he saw them on Halloween in 1993. And the book taught him how to make the candle.
Sir, have you heard of a different hobby?
Yeah. He was like 6 in 1993. What was I into when I was 6?
I was into Beanie Babies.
I was too.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't into Legos yet. I got into Legos later when I had thoughts. I had like Barbies. I was into dolls like that.
Okay,
I had
Dan.
a Ken doll.
In touch with his feminine side.
Absolutely.
A king
100%.
who's comfortable with himself. We love it, and I love that your parents encouraged it.
Well. I wouldn't say I'm comfortable with myself.
No, but 6-year-old.
But my toys are
was.
gender neutral.
Okay, that's good enough. I love that your parents supported that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Chef's kiss.
I was also really into taking my Hot Wheels cars and smashing them into each other.
Oh. You
We
know,
had like a wooden table in our basement, like a wooden coffee table, and I would take two, or I would make like a tournament of cars, and I would smash them into each other, and whichever one stayed up on its wheels was the winner, and it would move out of the next round, and whichever one was flipped over would lose.
and
I kept doing that until I was in my teens.
I mean, I definitely played like make believe for longer than I should have, so I get that, I guess.
Yeah, you still act.
That was ice cold. Well, at least now when I act, there's other people involved.
That's true. You know what the difference between you and me is?
What?
You're a better actor, but I get paid.
That's because you live in California, Dan. And how many times do I have to say you are a straight white man? who's kind of attractive.
Thank you. I was waiting for that.
I
That's
wasn't
the
gonna say
important
just
point.
attractive because I didn't want it to go to your gleaming blue orbs.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's still weird that you call them that.
I do it
Their
because it makes
eyes.
me laugh. It makes everyone else uncomfortable.
I'm gonna power through some of the movie
Let's
now.
do it, Dan. You got it. I'm supporting you.
The sisters see a campaign flyer for Mayor Jeffrey Trask. Cassie's father, Reverend Trask's descendant. It's Tony Hale.
King.
Everybody loves him. He's a good mayor.
Myself included.
And Winifred decides that they'll cast the spell to eliminate him and take revenge on Salem. Because remember, you must pay for the sins of your ancestors.
I mean, slay, I guess.
Right?
Hmm.
So the sisters trap Izzy and Becca in the basement, and then they leave to hunt down Trask because they need his blood to complete the spell, and they make Gilbert go and get all the other ingredients.
Classic.
They also make Gilbert go dig up Billy Butcherson, who has been awake but entombed since 1993.
Ugh, what a nightmare.
And he needs Billy's head for the spell and tricks him into helping him collect all the other ingredients. I would rather just have a buddy comedy movie of those two getting ingredients for the entire time. That would be more interesting.
Yeah, they were really cute. I will say that. They were very cute.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like laying entombed for 23 years, I feel like it gives the same energy
29.
as 29. Gives the same energy as when you can't fall asleep at night and you're listening to everybody else's sleeping sounds and you're like just so jealous and you're laying there and you're like, ugh.
How many people do you share a room with?
Gage and Jester, and they both snore.
You're in hell.
Not anymore. I'm used to it.
I was on a school trip in college to Los Angeles, California. And I was staying in a hotel room with our friend Alex, who we've had on the show.
We love Alex. Hi, Alex.
And somebody else who we will not have on the show.
A friend of a friend.
And we had figured it out where, because we're men, one of us would have one bed, one of us would have the other bed, and we got a roll away.
Oh my God. Have you ever tried putting your fragile masculinity aside so that you can share a pillow?
Here's one thing in my defense. I roll around and move a lot in my sleep.
Okay.
And I don't want to be interrupting anybody else's sleep or annoying them or waking them up or anything like that.
Okay.
So I will offer myself to sleep on the ground or on the couch or something.
Okay.
But anyway, so I'm in the middle bed. Alex is on the bed to the right of me, and the other guy is on the cot to the left.
Oh, okay.
So it becomes nighttime. We finish watching Everybody Loves Raymond.
As one
you
does.
do.
Oh!
Look at that.
That says so much about us.
Lights out. Everybody's falling asleep. Alex falls asleep first. Then the other guy falls asleep. And I am about to fall asleep. And then I hear Alex start to snore.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I can handle this. It's just him. I'm sure he'll get it out. Because that's how snoring works.
Yep.
And then, so I'm still trying to fall asleep. Alex is snoring. A few minutes passes.
Oh, no.
To the other side of me, snoring commences.
Oh, no.
And it is now snoring in stereo. And they are on opposite timings. So it would be snore in, snore out. It would be constant. Just a constant.
There's no
one
escape.
Solid wave. No escape.
Dan, you would hate my life because I am so used to Gage snoring that if it's too quiet, I have to turn on sounds because I can't fall asleep.
Oh, I sleep with sounds on. I sleep listening to things.
Okay.
I normally, like, we have a fan running.
Okay.
More for air movement than for the noise.
Yeah.
Because in addition to the fan, I will then listen to YouTube videos to fall asleep because I like the sound of talking.
You're a fucking monster.
Well, I was
YouTube
the
videos?
youngest, so I would fall asleep last.
Okay.
My house growing up was old. I could always hear people talking.
Okay. I take back what I said.
And I would listen to the radio when I was falling asleep.
I always listened to music when I'd fall asleep because my dad would always be watching TV in the living room, and then like once I started staying up after he would go to bed, I couldn't fall asleep without like something in the background. So I get that.
So back to California. I am in between these two men snoring. Later on, I talked to Alex, and he had no idea that he snored. And I was like, I do. I have an idea you snore. But I am trying to fall asleep. It has been maybe 15 minutes at this point.
No.
It's not happening. I have headphones in. I'm listening to people talking.
Ugh.
Snoring is coming through both sides.
No.
I get up. I walk out the door of our hotel room, and it's like it's an outside walkway to get in. The door, it's like a motel sort of thing. I walk out the door. I put my hands on the railing. I look up to the sky, and I just go, "Am I being punished? What have I done?"
Dan, sometimes that's just the way it is. You're caught between two snorers. Sorry, I
am so happy that Anna does not snore.
Sorry, to get a cough drop in the middle of things. My COVID cough. So I apologize to everybody if you can hear me swallowing loudly. It's because I'm dying.
Anna's just suckling.
You know me.
You can't spell Anna without suckle.
That is repulsive.
Hocus Pocus.
Let's finish it, Dan. We can do it.
Girls escape the house to warn the mayor. And they reunite with Cassie and manage to trap the sisters in a salt circle in Cassie's garage before the mayor returns home. The party is at that house, Cassie's house. And the teenagers make amends with each other. I don't care. And their reunion is interrupted when the sisters escape the circle because it wasn't good enough.
No! It was because the two Roombas that Kathleen and Jamie was flying on, one of them sucked it up, isn't it?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, the Roombas were a hit.
They were. Smart. Good.
The only redeemable factor of the movie, dare I say.
And they decide to use Cassie's blood instead. And I'm like, okay, let her die. I don't care.
Damn.
Back at Izzy. What?
Nothing. You're just ice cold.
Let her die. None of these people are real. Whatever. My hope, I keep repeating this. I always want characters to die in movies. And I always want major characters to die.
I hate that.
I want Black Adam. I want him to die 12 minutes into the movie. Have some stakes. No move. They don't have stakes. You know the main characters aren't going to die.
Too bad the Queen never lived to see it. Did you see that tweet?
Yeah.
Good.
So, out in the Forbidden Forest, Gilbert has the ingredients. And what's this? What's this? Becca? What is she? She's 16. She's a witch!
Oh!
Wow!
Classic. A classic twist no one ever could have saw coming. No 16-year-old girl has ever been a witch in any movie ever before.
No, you're right. This is the first.
It's absolutely the first.
The witches cast the spell. Their power starts to grow. It's almost over 9,000. It's 2006 called at once. It's meme back.
I can't with you.
Actually, that was closer to 2009 than 2006. Anyway.
Anywho.
Becca distracts them. Izzy rescues Cassie. Becca manages to convince Book that it doesn't have to answer to Winifred.
Fucking
as she
Book.
takes him and flees into the forest. And I don't care. And there's a warning about the spell that they cast. Asshole in the third act. Whoever casts it must give up who they cherish most. The girls agree. They're going to tell Winifred of the price, but it's too late. She becomes all powerful. But who does she care for the most? Her sisters! They fade into dust!
Sissies.
Sisters?
Right?
Sisters!
Oh, I was getting into the song. I was fucking gone.
There were never such devoted sisters.
Never had to have a chaperone, no sir. That was purposefully bad, for the record, because I am sick.
Sure, yeah.
Dan, I'm sick. Usually I sound better, but I'm sick.
Anna's sick.
Usually I sound better than this, but I'm sick.
No, you know what I say? If I'm ever looking bad, normally I look better than this, but Anna's sick.
I think that's the appropriate thing to say.
Yeah. So, Winifred, she gets sad, and she tells the teens to use their powers to save the sisters. But they can't save them. They're gone. Those bitches are dead.
How fucking sad.
But they join together to cast a spell, reuniting Winifred with her sisters. She happily fades to go away. For some fucking reason.
Because she realized that family's better than power. Weird how she realized that in approximately 2 seconds, and some people never realize that in their whole life.
Yeah, because it's not true. The girls are joined by Gilbert and Billy starts to fade away too. All of Winifred's spells are undone. They're going to their eternal rest.
Billy's probably like, thank fucking God, finally. It took forever to get
so
here.
Fucking bored.
Literally. Bored to death.
I would like to die.
From that joke?
Yes.
Oh, worth it. Sorry, Dan.
The girls start to practice their magic as they walk off into the night, just like the Sanderson sisters. And as they leave, a crow shapeshift that Mother Witch had shapeshifted into flies overhead because they want to make another one.
No.
And that's the movie.
We don't need any more. I'm good. I think America is good. We're good.
It's... Technically, there's nothing bad about this. Story-wise, there is, but on a technical level, cinematography, acting, it's all fine.
Now, like I said, my office hated it because they were all big into the nostalgia, and they said it wasn't what they wanted, and I said, okay,
it wasn't nostalgic enough.
I guess.
They dulled the edges. Whatever sharp edges the original movie had, this one dulled it to be safe for a toddler to pick up.
It seems that way, although there were those women who were like, it will bring witches into your home. On TikTok, did you see those?
Mm-hmm.
Loved them. I enjoyed it, but some parts I was like, ugh, I'm bored. Can we get through this? So, I don't know. Like, I didn't feel...
You could end it there. I didn't feel.
I just didn't feel strongly about it either way. And I don't know if that's because I'm not connected to it or if it's because I just, didn't feel.
If you need to have a nostalgic or fandom-like connection to a movie in order to truly connect with it, that's a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean, like, I've definitely seen some movies that I'm not connected to the fandom, and I'm still like, wow, that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
This was not...
Because those are probably
nice.
good movies.
Mm-hmm.
The movie part needs to come before the fandom part.
Yeah, this just was clearly... Kenny would have never allowed this.
No.
Kenny would have said, this is trash. Start again.
Kenny Norwega.
You're right.
Mm-hmm. That's what he would have said. And everybody would have been like, what?
He said
and he was like,
Nor.
Wega.
Oh.
And they, again, would have been like, I don't know what that means. And then his agent would say no.
Mm-hmm. As it should be.
I have trivia for you.
I'm ready. I'm listening. My ears, my heart are open.
It was still set in Salem, but filmed in Rhode Island. Movie magic is lying.
Dumb.
Bette Midler, when they originally announced it that it was going to be made for Disney Channel, not Disney Plus, Bette Midler was not excited about it. She said that it would feel cheap.
But the whole thing feels cheap. Hot take.
Yeah. And that they were going to recast the Sanderson sisters, and that was a bad idea. But when they didn't recast them, she was like, "Oh, I'm a fan now, because get that cash."
Yeah, she wanted that bag. I can't say I disagree with her. I also would want the bag.
Yeah.
So.
There was a cereal released related to it, the Hocus Pocus 2 cereal.
Not in Pick and Save.
I don't know if it was special order or what.
I don't know, but it was
apparently
not on the shelves at your local Pick and Save. I'll tell you that much.
$4.29 for a 7-ounce box, $5.29 for a 12-ounce box. Too expensive.
That feels expensive.
Too expensive. $2.50.
Oh,
that's what I'm paying.
Dan wants those 60s prices.
I want the generic brands.
Woo! Not the what are the ones with the kangaroos?
Kangaroos. I don't even know how to pronounce it.
Me either. The kangaroo O's.
I don't need to pronounce it. I shouldn't be talking while I'm shoveling those thangs into my mouth.
Amen. If the thing is thangin'.
Exactly. A couple of things that could have been. The original screenwriter was working on the script when it would be a Disney Channel original movie. And then it was announced as a reboot. And then they had a sequel on Disney Plus, so he stopped working on it. Adam Shankman was originally supposed to direct.
Okay. Who's that?
He instead directed Disenchanted.
Oh,
that is coming out on Disney Plus. He also directed A Walk to Remember.
Genius.
And he was a cinematographer also. What is it with these cinematographers?
They're popping off, snapping. Absolutely.
Choreographer, not cinematographer.
Oh, never mind. Still snapping.
Kenny
still
Ortega, the director of Hocus Pocus 2. Adam Shankman, all choreographers. So he directed A Walk to Remember and Hairspray.
The new one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, King.
The 2007 one.
That's new to me. That was yesterday.
John Waters directed the original.
I mean, that one's from, like, what, the 70s? The 80s?
Yeah. Oh, here's a fun thing. Anna Shankman officiated Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sarah Michelle Gellar's wedding.
Oh, how nice.
And he danced at the Oscars in 1990. And in the 1990 Oscars, he danced in the number Under the Sea, where he met his best friend, director and choreographer Anne Fletcher, director of Hocus Pocus 2.
Cute. Okay, love that.
So that's your Adam Shankman trivia for today.
Doesn't mean that the movie's good, but they still...
No.
I love a friendship origin story.
Thora Birch was approached to reprise her role as Danny Dennison from the first movie.
Cute.
She was working on Netflix's Wednesday, so she couldn't.
Oh. Did that come out already?
No, it is upcoming.
Okay, good, because I want to see
November 23rd.
Okay, good to know. Thank you.
And Larry Bagby, who played Ernie Ice in the first movie, was interested, and his agent submitted him for a cameo as the Magic Shop's owner, but he was never contacted to audition.
Sad. That's okay.
That's the trivia. Would this movie be better, worse, or the same with modern-day Jonathan Taylor Thomas as the Magic Shop owner?
Ooh. I think it would be about the same, just because he wasn't in the first one, so even though he was a heartthrob of the time, it doesn't really make a ton of sense, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, maybe he could have played... I don't know. That's where I'm at.
Better, worse, or the same with Jimmy Stewart as... I don't fucking know.
I'll decide. The mayor.
Worse. Tony Hale was... I like him. I'd rather watch him in this than... I mean, I'd rather watch Jimmy Stewart in a lot of things, but I think you needed Tony Hale's, like... G. Willikers-ness.
Yeah, he's very, like, awkward and cutesy.
Yeah. Cutesy. That's the good word for it.
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 5, things that don't matter, what do you give it?
2. I don't know.
Yeah.
2. How about you, Dan?
1.5.
Okay.
It exists. It's not horrible, but it could be something worse than horrible.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Deep, Dan.
Deep.
Deep. That's deep, King.
So anyway, that's it for the Hocus Pocus series,
Ooh.
hopefully.
Yeah. For now.
I realized we hadn't talked about what we were going to do next.
No, but did
before
you
we
have an
started
idea?
recording. I have an idea for a single movie.
Oh, okay. Let's do it.
And it just came out, and it is on HBO.
Is it? Don't worry.
It's Barbarian.
I watched that movie last week. You're going to hate it.
I probably, but I really like Justin Long.
No, I absolutely agree. I would love to hear your take on it. I'm just telling you right now, you're not going to have a good time.
I'm going to watch it in the daytime.
I look forward to hearing what you have to say.
I'm excited to watch Justin. The one thing that I know about this, about our Barbarian, is he finds out that his house has like a dungeon underneath it. And then he's Googling how he can make more money off of it by turning it into an Airbnb. And I'm like, oh, pitch perfect. No notes.
So, sort of. It already is an Airbnb,
Okay,
but you'll see.
But he finds more square feet, yeah.
Bill Skarsgård's in it. Daddy Wise. Giving. I was like, what are you doing in this Airbnb, Daddy Wise? Like,
Ooh.
I have an embarrassing crush on Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah, it's embarrassing, and you're right to recognize that.
He's cutie in a weird way. Okay.
So that is it for this week's episode of In Conclusion. If you want to find us on social media, we're on Facebook and Twitter @ and In Conclusion, on Instagram @ In Conclusion Podcast, on Patreon at patreon.com/In Conclusion. If you want to find me, I'm on Twitter @ Dan O'Keefe86, and I'm on TikTok @ Not Dan O'Keefe. Anna, where can they find you doing the Vogue with a worm hand?
You can find me vibing on the couch that I've been on since I got my COVID diagnosis. Looking out my window and crying.
Hello, trick-or-treaters.
It was so creepy. I scared so many children.
Infirm.
Oh, the scariest thing about my house was that there were no that I was a real decoration. I was a jump scare in the window. You can find me on Twitter @ OptimusPrime818, or you can find me on Instagram @ OptimusPrime8. Oh wait, Autobots roll out. Wait. You can find me on Instagram @ OptimusPrime818, or you can find me on Twitter @ AutobotsRollout. Capital O for Auto, capital B for Bots, capital R for Roll, and O and Roll, and the O and out are zeros. Or you can follow my dog's Instagram account, where you can see all of her stuck in a cone pictures. It's @ JesterThePup1017. She hates her cone. She's making everyone's life miserable. I love her so much.
I'm stuck in a cone, stuck in a never-ending cone.
That's literally her energy.
I love it. So, we will be back next week with Barbarian.
I can't wait. I cannot
I'm getting myself
wait.
into this. In the meantime, everybody stay safe, have fun. Get vaccinated. What am I signing myself up for?
Really fucking get vaccinated, please. I know that I was laughing, but this is no joke. Not funny like haha. Funny weird, okay?
Funny weird. Bye-bye.
Bye. That's the vibe, Ralphussy.
podcast.